What's poppin' YouTube? One and only Dia Ignis here, and today we're going back to part 2 of the video I was doing last time around. So I'm sorry this one took so long to get to because honestly I actually had this recorded for a while, but my headset's jacked up. So believe it or not, I'm actually using my skull candies from my phone to record this video, but I actually plan to have this up a lot earlier than it is right now, so I do apologize for that. But anyway, getting back into what we were talking about last time around. I know last time we were talking about what you want to do in life and how to reach that level. But you know, we already talked about that. So let's go ahead and get into the hows and what mindset to be in when you're trying to achieve these things. Because believe it or not, there's really not that much holding us back from getting to where we want to be in life. We could sit there and tell each other that, oh, I can't do this because of XYZ, or ABC is holding me back from doing this, and you get the idea. I mean, it's an entire struggle trying to get yourself out of that mindset. Because I mean, let's face it, in this day and age we live in a time where that mindset has become so common that it's almost considered normal. In fact, it is considered normal. Everyone just kind of you know what, let me just kind of go ahead and go through all this, get myself a nice little job, get myself taken care of, blah blah blah, and then they figure, you know what, once they get to a point where they feel like they can live comfortably, that's what they settle for, and they figure to themselves, you know what, I'm good, I did everything I was supposed to do, and this is where it got me. And there's really nothing wrong with that. I mean, I cannot fault someone for finding a way to be happy. That's beyond me. I can't let someone beat themselves up because they finally found a way to be happy, and I'm not going to tell them otherwise. But for those of us that want more, myself included, I wanted so much more for so long, and I'm finally getting to that point where I could finally get everything that I've been wanting my entire life. But this isn't about me. This is about everybody. This is about everybody that wants to say to themselves, you know what, I got to this point, but I kind of want a little bit more. I'm not being greedy. I'm just saying there should be more I could get. Well, you know, this is what that video is about today. This is how we're going to get ourselves into that mindset. So, the first thing you have to realize is when you're trying to reach that next level, the first thing you have to realize is that, it's really not going to be as hard as you think it might be. Or who knows, maybe it is going to be that hard. It really depends on the person. But you have to understand that a lot of what's holding you back is you yourself. And when you finally accept that fact, you finally realize that, you know what, it's not the world that's holding me back, it's me. It becomes that much easier to achieve that goal. Now let's talk about why it might be you that's holding you back. I guess I want to compare. I'll just go ahead and make it easy to understand with a comparison. Being afraid and getting success is it's kind of like being afraid to going on it's kind of like being afraid of going on an airplane, which is a very valid fear for a lot of people. I mean, I personally, I don't like planes, but you know what, I still gotta go to visit my dad every year. But anyway, so you get on that plane, you're like, oh man, I don't even want to do this. This plane's gonna crash and burn, and I'm gonna die, blah blah blah. That's the main thing that stops people from wanting to go on planes. They just could be afraid of heights, and that's the same thing same thing that holds a lot of people back from doing what it is they want to do in life, because they think to themselves they might not have what it takes, or if they try, they're gonna dig themselves so deep into a hole that they can't get any further than that. That's something that they might not be able to ever recover from. And you know what, that can't happen. It's not very likely if you play your cards right and do all the proper preparations, but it is a definite possibility. I'm not going to try and tell you otherwise, because that's not what this is about. I'm telling you that in order to reach that next level, you do have to take that risk. Just think of it this way. First, when you go on the airport first you gotta go through like TSA, get all your tickets and bag checks and everything, and you know, not too many people feel like going through all that. It's a pain. Like, I certainly don't like it. I know a lot of people who fly on a regular basis don't like it. And you know what, that's similar to like trying to get yourself ready to reach that next level, because half of the time people don't want to do stuff just because they just don't feel like it. It takes forever. And you know what, that's not their fault. I mean, like, no one likes having to deal with all that stuff. But once you do that, and once you get through that, that's like half the battle right there. Next thing you know, you're on the plane. And that's when the mindset starts to kick in. You realize that you're on the plane. There's really no getting back out of it now. You're kind of like shaking. You're like thinking to yourself, oh man, this is it. We about to get started. Like, you're about to get on, that plane's about to take off into the sky, and you're having a near heart attack. And once again, that's similar to actually getting to where you need to be. I mean, like, it's like, when you get up to that point, when you're like finally starting to make your dreams a reality, you're thinking to yourself, okay, things are getting started here. You're getting nervous. You're thinking to yourself, oh man, what if something goes wrong? What if I didn't do this or that or blah blah blah? And you know what? That's normal. Everyone's gonna think that way. I'm not gonna stand here and lie to you and say that it isn't. And I apologize if this isn't like uplifting or anything, but you know, this is some real shit. Like, you gotta recognize that fact that you can do everything right in the world and it might not work out. It really all depends on the pilot, which is you. But here's the thing. So once you get started, once that plane starts taking off, oh, we already know there's going to be turbulence. There's going to be a fair amount of turbulence in that sky, and that's going to make rattle up your nerves more than the daggone plane. And you know, there's really no other way to put it. Like, when you're finally going through with everything, like say you want to open up your business and you're like, your store just like opened up and you're thinking to yourself, oh man, what if I don't get any customers? That's the turbulence I'm talking about. That's the sort of thing that that's preventing you from feeling the way you should. Anything wrong with that? Nope. But I'm also going to sit here and say that, yo, don't feel that way. Because if you've done the proper research and everything, and if you want to achieve your dreams, you're gonna want to do that proper research. You can't just go into it all half-assed. But you have to have faith in yourself that you did everything that you were supposed to do and that everything's gonna be a-okay. So, here's the thing. You finally get into the sky. Your plane is finally above the clouds. You're really not feeling any turbulence anymore. You're just kind of chilling, and you're looking, and that's the good thing. That's when things start to get good, because it's all gonna take some time. There's no getting around it. But when you get up to that sky and you start looking out that window, you're gonna think to yourself, and everybody who's ever done this has had that same thought. What was I so worried about? Why was I tripping? Why was I so afraid of what I'm capable of? It's almost as if we're afraid of success these days, and that's what's holding a lot of us back. And you know, you could be afraid of success. There is nothing wrong with having your own fears or doubts. That's what makes us human. If we were all able to do everything that it's really tough to put it this way, but without doubts, there wouldn't be any people who are great, because all these extraordinary things I'm talking about, they would be commonplace. And in an ideal world, they would be commonplace. Nobody would have there would be no hatred towards other people. There would be no struggling. There would be no poverty. There would be no unwarranted killings. In an ideal world, none of these things that are currently plaguing our country and our world in general would be a thing. But you know what? We're human. We're not perfect. There's no way we could get around that fact. But what we can do is that we could do better by ourselves each day and ensure that our future, like if you want to have kids, you can ensure that your future and their future is something you could be proud of, something you could feel safe letting them get raised in, or letting yourself be a part of. But when you start fearing everything, I mean, like, we're not great until we overcome those fears. That's why the journey is so much more important than the destination sometimes. Because when you overcome those fears, you really start to appreciate and understand everything that you've been going through so much better than you were before. And like I said, this is the mindset that you have to be in order to achieve those dreams of yours. You have to say to yourself, you know what, I am scared, I am afraid, I don't know if I can do this. But you have to be able to say to yourself, you have to be able to say that to yourself, and then say to yourself, you know what, I know I'm scared, but I'm not going to let that stop me. This is a dream that I've had, and I'm ready to accomplish it. I'm not going to stand here and let myself fade away in a mediocrity. If you have dreams, go ahead and do that. Everybody has something that they are naturally inclined towards. I mean, shoot, I got a friend that does commissions. She's literally the best artist I know. And she does a lot of commissions. I mean, like, that's something she loves doing, and as a result, she's turned that talent into something that she could profit from. And that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what it is you do. If you're good at something, make that talent your own. Make that talent something that no one else can emulate. Make it your own, so that way you could use it to your advantage when you're trying to accomplish your dreams. Like, if your dream is to be a business owner and you're a smooth talker, you better get into sales. You better act like you know that the proper way to run a business is to, well, not convince, but believe in yourself, and believing in and having other people believe in you as well. Or if you like art, just go ahead and open up some commissions like my friend did. If you like singing, you better go ahead and start doing some covers. And don't let that voice in your head say, "Oh, I don't feel like doing this," or "Oh, I'm not capable of this." Tell that voice to stop talking, because you know what? If you want to get anywhere, that voice is going to have to take a back seat for a little while. And this is a fun little thing to talk about. I really appreciate the question I got that was regarding these. And that's it for this video. I actually have something else set up. I'm going to try and record that today if I can. And thank you so much for watching. Go ahead, drop a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if there's anything I can do better. And you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you guys later. I'm out.